We often see partnering used as a choreographic device to break up the monotony of multiple unison phrases and individual efforts. It's an easy way to create variety in every caption. Partnering shows agreements between performers. This is an aspect of kinesthetic awareness. Many times we can increase the value of that proof through weight sharing. We commonly think of lifts in this situation, but there are many other ways to prove these agreements that may not take as long for younger performers to learn. In this first example, we use the momentum of a turn and a jump to lift slightly without supporting dead weight for any length of time. This allows for variables in strength and still displays the agreements between performers and adds a lift, though small, into the vocabulary. Note the grip and the connection of the performers. See that she's using her plie to spring into the jump that will then be eventually supplemented by the gentleman to increase the height and to slow the speed. See the reset of the hands for greater support. She is grounded in plie with the weight centered so that he can press straight down to create the lift. He uses his hands to place her as they connect centers and continue that connection up through the upper body. The line is continued with the arms, further proving the sharing of weight. In this next example, we start with mirrored spirals into the ground. We then see that one performer supports the other so that the displayed skill of the arabesque can be increased and elevated, perhaps beyond the capabilities of the single performer without the support. This support shows a connection without the overt sharing of weight, but the tension in the arms adds support to the arabesque. The asymmetry in the back to the ground adds an implied emotional aspect that's built into the movement choreography, even without an expressive aspect to the communication. Now we see the weight supported and actually redirected. First with the connection of the upper bodies, and then again with a blind trust fall, and then again with the pike. Note the connection of the locked arms and the tension needed to redirect the weight. You see how the left hand is also helping to lift. See how the hands have connected to the back before the fall excels. This helps control the redirect of the trust fall and gives the falling performer an assurance that their partner is there. And for the pike, see how the right arm is wrapped around the torso and the left hand is open and connected to the rib cage for support. Let's look one more time. Now let's look at a way that equipment can be used to transfer efforts and energies between performers. When you see the simple trades of equipment, it's easy to imagine that this study could be the premise for further development of phrase sharing, equipment sharing, and weight sharing. Here we expand the idea further. Look at the connection of the legs. There's a trapped aspect to the suspended moment that adds drama to the movement. Then, as we land the jump, we rebound into a sudden exchange. The equipment is the connector that allows the performer to be pulled from the ground, where we would typically think of hands as being the connector for grips and transference of energy. The equipment acts as a third party, further proving the agreements and elevating the skill. Here's an example that uses saber to connect the blind back-to-back bearing of weight. The reversal sets up a connected butterfly jump that then leads to the dramatic trap. This next example uses a pull-toss exchange to prove in a concrete way the agreements between performers. The small mount is brief and sets up the trade of focus and skill between performers. See that both have supported the other at different times, ending in a co-equal connection to the weapon. Our last example shows an advanced kinesthetic awareness as the transference of effort, support, and energy all happen on the move. See the tension in the arms as the trading suspensions are controlled through this connection, where the performers are able to pull off center and suspend not only up but out, away from the collective center. The flags act as an extension of the arms and wrists to exaggerate the circular vortex and lyrical quality of the move. This then feeds into the press jump where the weight of one is supported by the other, and then the equipment is used as a connector to pull us up to standing. It's important to see that the connections and demands go through the push-pull of the initial calibrated rotational move to a more common version of sharing and bearing weight to the pull transferent of weight as the performer is pulled to standing. In this small lyrical study, there are 3 different ways to prove and reward these kinesthetic relationships. This is the basis of range and ultimately depth inside one aspect of partnering. Our hope is that you'll grow to see partnering not just as a choreographic device that relieves sameness, but as a choreographic and competitive opportunity. We offer these examples as count for count solutions or as inspirations for your own response. Remember that even in rejecting an idea, you're responding creatively. Let that carry you towards your new abilities. Don't worry about stealing these, they're offered only at the cost of your personal growth. You will honor the activity in your new heightened awareness.